or insects were harmed in the making of this program, and that none of the training you're about to see be attempted unless under expert supervision.
8 Brainees, 1 challenge. To use complex mass of 100 billion cells we call brain for chance to win Brain-Jitsu black brain belt. This is Brain-Jitsu. Born in Lancashire, trained in Japan, with mind as sharp as samurai sword, he is Brain Master. He is the sensei.
Konnichiwa, and welcome to Brain-Jitsu. Mental training specially designed to boost brain power and focus. My trainees, or Brainees, have been following a basic programme of training in the comfort of their own home. A brain-boosting routine of exercise, sleep, and enough fruit and veg to stock a greengrocers.
I really want to win the black belt because it will give me like more dignity and give me more self-confidence.
We've done so much training, to be honest, calmed me down a lot.
I really want the black belt.
Now my Brainees must put their training into practice by testing a part of the brain we use every day.
Level 1, yellow vault.
Take a look at my very cluttered garage. Now, try to find the little rubber duck.
Spotted it? Congratulations! You've just used your occipital lobes. This area, the seeing part of our brain, allows us to recognise and separate images from each other. The 7 Brainees who use their occipital lobes the best will be allowed to enter my Brain-Jitsu dojo, where their training will continue. The one who fails will be left outside. Oh, feel the burn.
Enter the dojo!
Our Brainees must answer 4 questions by studying the different faces on the board in front of them. Get them right and they'll be left with a 4-digit code, which they must then use to unlock a piece of brain and secure their place in the dojo. But with only 7 pieces of brain and 8 Brainees, one of either Hayden, Ella, Arjun, Grace, Hayley, Danraj, Jack or Reece will be left outside and eliminated. A bang of the gong reveals the 4 questions. How many green smiley faces are there? How many faces have freckles? How many yellow smiley faces are there? How many faces have one ear? The answer our Brainees are looking for. It looks like Arjun is. He has to return to the noodle bar for a second helping. Hayden and Reece haven't yet moved, really working those occipital lobes in search of the right combination. And it's Ella who's first to unlock a piece of brain with Danraj hot on her heels. Don't forget the code our Brainees are looking for is 1694, as there is 1 green smiley face, 6 faces with freckles, 9 yellow smiley faces and 4 faces with 1 ear. With 2 more Brainees now through to the dojo, that leaves Hayden, Hayley, Grace and Jack to fight it out for the last 3 places. And it looks like some are really struggling. Come on Brainees, keep that focus. With our Brainees going backwards and forwards more times than a tennis rally, Jack at last pops open his lock, followed by Hayley. Which just leaves Hayden and Grace. Suffering sumos! Hayden still hasn't got that combination. Can Grace now grab her opportunity? But she's not got it either. Surely Hayden can't slip up again. No chance. And as his piece of brain slots home, it's Hayden who's in and Grace who's out. While 7 have proven themselves worthy of entering the dojo and continuing their brain training, for Grace, it's the end of the road.
I'm a bit disappointed, but it was hard though, it was quite hard. It required a lot of concentrating. The question I found really hard was the faces had 1 year because usually you got mixed up with 2 years, so it was hard.
So, with 6 levels to go, it's time for Ella, Danraj, Arjun, Reece, Jack, Hayley and Hayden to receive their yellow brain belts.
I was so nervous sitting there because you could just hear the bits of brain drop and I was like, that's another person. You have to hurry up.
I feel really relieved that I'm here right now, and I just prayed and prayed that I wouldn't have to go so early in the stage of the game.
Brain-Jitsu!
In this next level of training, things are going to get really hard.
Level 2, orange belt.
We do things every day without even thinking about it, like using the remote control for the telly. But try turning up the volume with the hand that you don't normally use. Go on, a lot more harder, isn't it? If you manage to do that, you're using part of your brain that deals with problem solving, the frontal lobes. And that's what level 2 is all about. Taking something you normally do without thinking and doing it differently. Work it. To prepare them for using their frontal lobes in this next challenge, our Brainees are gonna need some training.
Room of mental nourishment.
This is the room of mental nourishment, where our young hopefuls will train their brains between every task. The more seriously they take their training, the better prepared they'll be for the challenges that lie ahead. And in level 2, that challenge is all about getting their brains to think in a new way.
Brain training. Write the name of the brainee you think will win the black belt. Write backwards using your hand you don't normally write with.
So, our Brainees are going to be made to really think about something, like writing, that they'd normally do without thinking.
Which one are you going to choose for the who's going to win the black belt?
Hayley. This is pretty hard.
That's the whole point, Hayden. If it was easy, it wouldn't be giving your brain a workout.
Who did you do?
I done Jack.
Why?
Because I think he's a very intelligent boy.
That's one vote for Jack. And another. Who's a popular boy then?
So you are chosen me?
No.
Never mind, Hayden. Here's a brain tip.
Picture the words in front of you before you write it. Think about each individual letter.
If you want to work your frontal lobes and improve your all-round focus, writing backwards with your wrong hand is a great thing to do. But for Hayden, the exercise appears to have dented his confidence.
You never know if you're going to win or not, and you know there's stronger people out of everyone than you. And out of everyone here, I'm probably the weakest.
You shouldn't really put yourself down.
Will Hayden get over his confidence crisis and find his focus in time for the next round? And will front-runner Jack live up to expectations? There's only one way to find out. It's time for our Brainees to put their training to the test. Guardian of the dojo and task adjudicator the Shihan will now demonstrate the level 2 challenge.
Spell backwards, step forward.
To stand chance of gaining orange belt, 7 Brainees must now think in reverse. Shihan will show them picture. They have to say what is. That is cat. Then they spell word backwards. T-A-C. Get right and our Brainees can step forward. Get wrong and they stay put. Brainees can choose length of word they want to spell backwards. Longer word, more time they get to answer. 3 seconds for 3-letter word, up to 6 seconds for 6 letters. More letters, more steps towards destination. There is slight advantage to going first in challenge, but order Brainees take part is order they completed level 1. Whoever not finish will be eliminated from the dojo.
My Brainee tip here is to imagine the whole word and then break it down into groups of letters. Hoo, hoo. Work those frontal lobes.
4.
First to try and get her brain thinking differently is Ella.
Drum. R and M You are...
But it's not the start she was hoping for.
3.
Danraj, meanwhile, decides to play safe.
A. R-A-E.
4. Lion. N-O-I-L. Lion.
No hesitation for Arjun.
3. B. E-E-B.
An easy beasy for Reece.
4.
Next up is front runner Jack.
Tank. K-N-A-T. Tank.
And like the other boys, it looks like his brain training has really paid off.
4. Duck. K-C-U.
Hayley, though, comes unstuck with duck. It's now Hayden's turn.
4.
Short on confidence after his training, can he now respond?
Goat. T-A...
Oh no, it's back to Ella,
3.
who this time gets off the mark.
Mop. P-O-M.
In fact, a run of correct answers sees all 7 Brainees make good progress.
Worm. M-R-O-W.
But it's Arjun who's first to step onto the podium and claim an orange belt. Front runner Jack comes in second. And with Danraj, Reece and Hayley also claiming a place in the next level, that just leaves Ella and Hayden to battle it out for the last orange belt.
Fire. E-R-I-F.
And with that word, Hayden draws level. With both Brainees now just a 5-letter word away from a place in the next round, Ella decides to gamble and get the job done.
5. Watch. H-C-T-A-W.
And she gets it. For Hayden, though, it's a sad sayonara, as he must hand over his brain belt and leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
It was just hard to spell backwards. I couldn't do it. I'm really disappointed that I went, but at the end of the day, someone has to go, and this time it was me.
So, with 5 levels to go, it's time for Ella, Danraj, Arjun, Reece, Jack and Hayley to get their orange brain belts.
I'm really relieved that I got through last round because I'm not very good at spelling.
I was neck and neck with Hayden, so I just took a big risk and chose a 5-letter word, and I felt really happy with myself after I'd done it.
Brain-Jitsu! Brainy, not so brainy.
Who's the clever clogs and whose brain needs a lot more training? Picture the scene. It's 250 years ago, and a lad called Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart is only 6 years old and already playing the harpsichord, composing amazing music and performing it to the Empress of Austria. But did he stop there? No, he did not. He only went on to write another 600 major works. Not bad for someone who only lived to the age of 35. Wolfgang-tastic. Get a load of this, lot. What a racket. TV talent shows are bursting at the seams with tuneless musical wannabes desperate for fame. Mr. Mozart will be turning in his grave. Brainy, Mozart. Not so brainy, musical wannabes.
Brain-Jitsu!
Pressure in Brain-Jitsu dojo rising. Just 6 young hopeful remain to compete under watchful eye of Shihan. Ella, first to enter dojo. Front runner Jack. Reece, steady throughout.
I really want to win the black belt because it will give me more dignity and give me more self-confidence.
Danraj, calm and collected. Hayley.
I'm really relieved that I got through last round.
And Arjun, winner of last level. Challenge is about to get even tougher. Only 2 Brainees will make final test. Table of supreme focus, where must move ball with power of mind for chance to win Brain-Jitsu black brain belt. It's time for Level 3. Green belt!
Now, we all like to chat, but did you know that using words to communicate is one of the main reasons why our brains have grown so incredibly powerful? And that having a conversation exercises both halves of the brain. Now, if all that's doing your head in, allow me to explain. Imagine you're the trumpet player in an orchestra. Your main focus is on your own notes, but the conductor, well, he has to listen for everyone's notes. It's the same with the brain.
There's the left half, which deals with the details, and there's the right half, which looks at the overall picture.
This next level of training strengthens my Brainees' focus by working one half of their brain under pressure. Hey, pump it up!
Room of mental nourishment.
It's our Brainees' second visit to the Room of Mental Nourishment, where once again they'll train for the next challenge, which, remember, is all about using the two halves of the brain to communicate.
Brain training. Get into 2 groups. One brainy describes how the blocks fit together. The other groups put them together.
So, while one group will use the right side of their brain to explain how to make the shape, the other group must use the left side of their brain to interpret the words. Arjun gets the ball rolling.
So at the bottom, there's one brick which has 4 kind of cylinder things at the top, goes right at the bottom.
But Danraj and Hayley are finding it hard to get a word in edgeways.
4 blocks going vertically or horizontally.
It fits onto one side of the square.
Not put off by Hayley's interruption, Arjun continues with his one-man show.
The other side, the other red.
But in his enthusiasm, he seems to have forgotten that hand signals are of little use to a team who can't see you.
Like a slimmer version of the 2 one. Yes. And then you put the 2...
Meanwhile, Hayley's given up entirely.
Is that what it's meant to look like?
Let's see.
No. But it almost like it.
Hold it up.
Almost.
Oh, never mind. Time for a training tip.
Tip. Use short, clear instructions. Imagine yourself hearing them. Understand? Yep.
In other words, our guiders must think exactly what information the others need, because good communication is all about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. Our Brainees start again, and it looks like this time Danraj is going to begin.
Should we start from the beginning then?
Yeah.
But wait, Arjun's obviously decided that he's been silent too long.
And then you get the 2 rectangle ones, yeah? Yeah, got that. Your right-hand side, like on the right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Just twist it around.
We got it.
Black one.
No, I said it should be in the middle. The bottom one should be at the middle, the bottom cube.
Oh, right.
Should be in the middle.
Good. Yeah.
Now it's right.
Yeah.
The instructions were alright, it's just they weren't perfect. They could be better.
I got really frustrated with Reece because he showed the wrong block, even though I said a slice of 4 cylinders on it.
But I don't really think you should be frustrated with me because I didn't really get it. And I think you could improve your instructions.
I think you got a point that I do rush, but I think I'll improve in my communication skills.
So, will Danraj's lack of practice cost him in the next task? And will forceful Arjun ever let anyone get a word in? It's time to find out, as our 6 now put their communication training to the test.
Lantern walk number crack.
This is test of communication skill. So, 6 Brainee must first divide into teams of 2 by drawing chopsticks. As quickly as possible, teams must whack open 6 lanterns containing numbers that go together to form sum. Pairs first need to decide who is guider, who is whacker. Whackers will be blindfolded and will be relying on guider to locate lanterns. When all 6 are open, Brainees stop clock by shouting, Brain-Jitsu! Quicker they whack lanterns, more time they have to pick up numbers and work out sum. When Brainees are happy with answer, hit gong! First 2 teams to provide correct answer get green belts and advance to next level. 1 Brainee from losing team will be eliminated.
The key to success here is for the guider to use the right side of their brain to follow their teammates' progress and give them clear instructions. For their partner, it's vital they use the left side of their brain to focus on these instructions and nothing else.
First to put their communication training to the test are Danraj and Reece.
Take a step to the left.
With guider Danraj working the right side of his brain and Reece the left, the boys get off to a good start.
Take a step to the right. Whack.
But then Reece's radar goes awry.
Take a step to the right. Right. Slightly back. Whack.
And now the boys are losing valuable time.
Whack. Whack. Brain-Jitsu.
The pair finish in 1 minute 45 seconds, but they'll have to wait to find out how much extra time, if any, it's bought them to make their sum.
Okay, walk forward. Left, right, sorry. Now, whack. Good.
Next, it's the pink team of Jack and Arjun. In training, Arjun took complete control of the guiding team, but now it's Jack who'll be giving the instructions.
Whack. Yeah. Don't smack it, whack it.
And he's doing a pretty good job of it. With forceful Arjun silent for once, the boys make good progress.
Left. Whack. Brain-Jitsu.
Stopping the clock in a whack-tastic 1 minute 23 seconds.
Forward.
Last up are the two remaining girls, Hayley and Ella.
Whack. Okay, backwards a little bit. Right. Whack.
With Ella doing the guiding, it looks like she's remembered her training, giving Hayley clear and precise instructions.
Whack. Left. Whack.
That's the last lantern, and it's a good time, just 1 minute 35 seconds. The quickest to whack open all their lanterns is Jack and Arjun, who set off first to find their numbers. Here's what our Brainees are looking for. See if you can work out the sum. Remember, the first two teams to work it out will go through to the next level.
6 plus 20.
Jack and Arjun are first to bang the gong, just ahead of Reece and Danraj, but the girls' brains are struggling with the numbers. At last they bang the gong. 11 plus 20 minus 6 equals 25. That looks spot on. But to be safe, the girls will be hoping that one of the other teams have got their sum wrong. 20 plus 11 minus 6 equals 25. That's a thumbs up from the Sheehan. And no problems either for Jack and Arjun. So, even though they found the right answer, as the last to finish, it's Hayley and Ella who'll be battling it out to avoid elimination in the...
Stare off.
With just one green belt up for grabs, both Brainees must use all their powers of focus to fight the urge to blink. The first to falter will be eliminated. Oh, and it's Hayley who's first to go from think to blink. So, while Ella stays in, Hayley's out and must hand over her orange brain belt and leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I thought the brain training was useful. I could visualise what I was doing in my head. It was just the sum that got me down.
So, with 4 levels left, it's green brain belts for Ella, Danraj, Arjun, Reece and Jack.
The fact that I've come first has built my confidence much greater.
The method that I used to keep my eyes open was to blink really fast before I did the stare off.
Brain-Jitsu.
Level 4. Blue belt.
This 4th level requires our Brainees to master a primitive part of the brain called the amygdala, the area that responds to threat. Remember the last time you felt afraid or panicky? Maybe it was on a dark night. Well, that feeling was triggered by the old amygdala. Stress can make you lose focus. Fact. Which is why my Brainees must train to keep their emotions under control.
Room of mental nourishment.
We're back in the room of mental nourishment, and it's time for our 5 remaining green belt holders to overcome fear and stay totally focused.
Brain training. Form a circle. Pass the disgusting drink around the circle, only passing it on when you have said a different word relating to the last word someone says. After 1 minute, the brainee holding the drink has to drink it.
Hey, but drink what exactly? Well, How about a nice glass of cod liver oil?
I'm gonna throw chunks out after that.
Disgusting or not, Arjun, it's time to play.
Water. Liquid.
Drink.
Orange juice.
While most of our Brainees are doing a good job of keeping their amygdalas under control, with Arjun it's a different story. Just the thought of that cod liver oil appears to be slowing him down.
Ginger ale.
Ginger.
Chewy.
Bubblegum.
Bubble. Soap.
Tub bath.
There's the gong, and it's Reece who's found himself holding the cup of yuck.
Just hold your nose and drink it. Just don't think about it. Just hold your nose and drink it.
Hey, easy for you to say, Danraj.
I'll just sip it.
Ooh, you're gonna make me faint.
Time for a training tip.
Tip. Welcome the drink as your friend. It holds the answer. That's a good tip.
If you do this training at home, then imagining the drink as something nice like a fruit smoothie will help you stay calm. Being afraid of it will only cloud your focus and stop you from coming up with a word. Arjun kicks things off a second time.
Toilet.
Toilet roll.
Toilet? The idea is to think of the drink as something nice.
Something gross. Flush. Diarrhea inside.
Green.
Chicken.
Finally, our Brainees change the subject and immediately things start to speed up.
Fried chicken.
Buffalo wings. Yum. Hot. Scrumptious.
Strong.
That's the second gong, and this time it's Danraj who has to gulp down the gloop.
Block your nose, Danraj. You know what you mean. Block your nose.
Drink it down.
Danraj.
That's nasty. That was disgusting, but the tip did help me into drinking it.
I found it harder to concentrate because of the element of fear, because the drink was passing around and I was like, don't come to me, don't come to me.
Will Reece manage to keep his concentration in the next task? And will Arjun remember his training and think nice thoughts? It's time to find out as our 5 are challenged to overcome their fears once again.
Creepy crawly word grab.
This level, real test of mind over matter for Brainees, and will push them to really overcome their fear. Underneath the creepy crawlies lie an assortment of letters worth different points. Brainees have just 1 minute to plunge hands into tank and pick out up to 7 letters each. They then have a further minute to make higher scoring word they can.
To do well, my Brainees must block out the signals coming from their amygdala and ignore the creepy crawlies. The quicker they combat their fear, the more time they'll have to pick out the high-scoring letters. Underneath this pile of mealworms are an extra 5 golden letters. If our Brainees manage to use one in their word, they'll double their score. Our Brainees dive in. But what's this? Instead of looking for letters, front-runner Jack is waving his hands about in the air, completely forgetting his training. That can't be said of Ella, though. Her face, that of someone whose amygdala is well and truly under control. But forceful Arjun's only picked out 3 letters so far. Remember, Arjun, think nice thoughts.
Move it. Ice.
The minute's up. Our Brainees now have a further minute to make the highest scoring word they can from their letters. With just 3 letters to choose from, front-runner Jack is finding his options somewhat limited. But not Ella. If she just moves that S to the end, she'll have a great word. See if you can make a word from the anagram at the bottom of the screen now. There's the last gong. How have our green belt holders fared?
Sheet.
Unbelievable! Ella never did find that word, and no word means no points.
Gone.
But that's 5 points for Danraj.
Joel.
No points for Arjun either.
Hole.
Top hole, more like, because that's 6 points for Reece.
2.
While Jack earns 2 for 2. So, with both Arjun and Ella tied on 0, we've got ourselves a tie-break. Our 2 Brainees will get 1 chance to prove the power of their mind and save themselves. It all hangs on the...
Tie-break chopstick challenge!
Oh, it's tough but fair. Our Brainees must use their occipital lobes, the seeing part of the brain, and work out how many chopsticks they see. They've got just 5 seconds to write down their answers. If they lose focus and panic, it'll all be over. Time to reveal our Brainees' answers. 58 for Arjun. And 30 for Ella. The actual number is 64. So Arjun's answer of 58 is the closest of the 2, meaning that it's Ella who must now leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I went for sheep because I thought it was a longer word than the others you could have picked. But then after I'd done it, I thought it was a bit risky and I shouldn't have chose to make that move. I'm quite sad to be out of Brain-Jitsu because I was hoping to get it to at least red belt.
So, with only 3 levels left, those who use their minds to master the mealworms are rewarded with their blue belts.
When I was in the tie-break with Ella, I was like, oh, so terrified because she beat Hayley. But when she showed me 64, I just felt like screaming so loud.
The training really helped me, especially the tip, because it made me forget about all the maggots and just focused on getting the words out.
I knew that they couldn't harm me, so I was just really calmed down and I was just trying to focus on getting the right word and trying to win. And luckily I did it.
Brain-Jitsu! Brainy, not so brainy.
Who's the clever clogs and whose brain needs a lot more training? Doctors, I love them. If you feel ill, all you have to do is go and see them and they'll help you get better. No wonder they spend around 7 years at medical school and then up to 4 years training. Enough respect. Stethoscope-tastic. Right, it's doctors again, but this time of the 17th century. This load of quacks believed that our personalities came from one of 4 types of fluids flowing through our bodies. What a load of nutters. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Brainy, modern doctors. Not so brainy, 17th century quacks.
Brain-Jitsu!
Tension in Brain-Jitsu dojo mounting. Now, just 4 young hopeful remain to compete under watchful eye of Shihan. Reliable Reece, well placed in each level.
I really want to win the black belt because it will give me like more dignity and give me more self-confidence.
Front runner Jack. Forceful Arjun, talker of group.
I just felt like screaming so loud.
And Danraj, never out of top 3.
Nasty!
Only 2 Brainy will make final test. Table of supreme focus. Where must move ball with power of mind. Brain-Jitsu black brain belt is within their grasp. Is time for... Level 5. Red belt!
Now, if you've just taken up competitive bog snorkeling, then you might be interested to know that your new hobby is doing wonders for the old grey matter, exercising both the thinking part of the brain, the cerebrum, and the doing part, the cerebellum. You see, doing new things increases the flow of blood into your head, which keeps your brain cells topped up with the oxygen they need to perform at their best. So, in level 5, my Brainees are going to be challenged to learn new skills. Now, you can speed up how quickly the brain takes in new stuff. And this is what our Brainees are going to train for now.
Room of mental nourishment.
It's our Brainees' 4th visit to the room of mental nourishment, where they'll be training their brains in how to learn new skills.
Flip and catch as many drink coasters as you can.
Okay.
Reece starts the ball rolling.
I'll show you how to do this.
Yeah, sure.
Not bad at all.
Oh my days, though. It's been attacked. The cookies have been attacked.
I'm well good at it.
Danraj has also made a decent start.
Cookie.
But not everyone's having quite as much success. Front-runner Jack is finding this particular skill harder to crack than a Japanese crossword. Oh, hey, time for a training tip.
Tip. Approach this positively. Laugh out loud for 30 seconds.
It might seem weird, but the next time you face a mental challenge, you try laughing as well. Not only can it help with confidence, but it also increases our heart rate, which sends extra oxygen into the brain, helping it to perform at its best. Jack, though, has decided there's more than one way to increase his heart rate. Oh dear, there's positive and there's positively daft. That's right, son, you have a lie down.
Do you know the tip? Well, it helped me by like making me more cheerful, so my brain was like more in gear, and so that's why I was so hysterical and demented, basically.
I think fooling around ain't gonna help you pass the next task. No way.
No, they're gonna lose anyway.
So, will reliable Reece be able to recall his training when the heat is on? And will front-runner Jack regret fooling around? Only time will tell as our four now put their latest brain training to the test.
Chop, chop, don't drop.
To win Red Brain Belt, Brainees must remain mentally confident as they learn new physical skill. Remaining four must keep ball in airflow and guide it along obstacle course, through hoops and into basket. It is race against clock, but Brainees must remain confident. There is 5-second penalty every time ball drops. Brainee with slowest time will be eliminated.
The tip for my Brainees in this next task is to remain calm and think positive thoughts. Giving in to frustration will only lessen their focus and slow them up. So, can our Brainees stay positive or will they let the pressure get to them? First to go with the flow is Danraj, who straight away looks as smooth as a sumo's backside. Slickly through the slalom, it's clear that Danraj has got both the thinking part and the doing part of his brain working well. A slam dunk at the end, and that's a great effort. Next up is forceful Arjun, but immediately he runs into trouble. And unable to force the ball to do what he wants, Arjun is forgetting to stay positive. His confidence in tatters, Arjun's round goes from bad to worse. It's now the turn of reliable Reece. While moving along at a good pace, it's not the cleanest of rounds. But then Reece's confidence picks up. That's good through the slalom. And a basket in one stops the clock. Finally, it's Jack's turn. Is he about to pay the price for fooling about in training? It's not the best of starts. And what's more, he never really gets going. A bit of bother with the basket.
Come on.
And Jack eventually stops the clock. So, which Brainee flowed too slow? With no time penalties, Danraj got round in an impressive 57 seconds. With 17 penalties, forceful Arjun crawled round in 3 minutes 44. With 5 time penalties to add on, reliable Reece completed the course in 1 minute 2 seconds. And racking up 11 penalties, Jack finished in 2 minutes dead. Which means that it's forceful Arjun who's eliminated and must now leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I feel so disappointed to be out of Brain-Jitsu because I think I was going to get the brown belt, but I didn't. The brain training helped me, but it wasn't enough to make me win.
So, with just 2 levels left, that leaves Danraj, Reece and Jack to stand proud in red.
I'm feeling very confident because in all the tasks I've done done quite well, and I think I'll be able to get the black belt.
I'm really pleased that actually it got through. I never even thought that I'd get this far. I'm here now, so that's a big relief because this is something that's a big step for me, and I think that I've done really well.
Brain-Jitsu.
Level 6, prawn bolt.
It's this level which will decide which 2 of my remaining Brainees will go on to battle it out
for the black belt.
Now, imagine you're in your school play. As well as lines to remember and moving around on stage, there's also the audience watching you. It's remembering stuff under pressure like this that level 6 is all about. It centres around 3 areas of the brain. The seeing part, the occipital lobes, the memory part, the temporal lobes, and the movement part, the cerebellum. To the max.
Room of mental nourishment.
Our 3 surviving Brainees are back in the room of mental nourishment, this time for a bit of memory training.
Brain training. Memorize the sequence of the colours. Oh, that's hard.
Indeed it is, Danraj.
No, wait, why don't we do a table each?
Okay, I do this one.
That, on the other hand, is not so hard. And finding ways to make training easier isn't really the name of the game.
If you read them all out loud, we'll get mixed up and start thinking of your combination.
Sorry.
You might, but then you'll have only got 4 colours to remember, Jack.
Who thinks they can remember all of them?
Me.
I think I might.
That's more like it, some proper training.
So, purple, green, orange, red, blue, grey, green, purple, red.
Now you're looking through that.
Yeah, right.
Time for a training tip. That way no one will need to peek.
Tip. Create a song linking the colours together.
How about we just do like purple, purple, red, red, green, 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 grey, blue, orange, silver.
Oh dear, looks like our Brainees have found another shortcut.
Red ones.
No, just go purple, purple, blue, orange, red, red, yellow, green, green,
How
green,
is that song?
silver.
You need to put some majesticness, whatever that means, in it.
Purple,
Okay.
purple, blue.
No,
orange,
like
red,
think of a
red,
word,
yeah.
like P, like P for poo.
Memory training isn't just great for the brain, it's also incredibly useful. Try turning your school timetable into a song and see if you can remember every class.
We mixed them up. How are they supposed to make sense now?
Not that our Brainees are showing any signs of singing whatsoever.
I'm not going to do a song because it's humiliating. Can't I just do it in my own way? I'm just going to say the one. Silver, orange,
Grey,
purple,
green,
purple, green, grey, silver.
Grey, yellow.
It was close though.
And purple, purple, orange, orange, red, red.
No.
What happened there?
So why don't you ever go?
Silver, orange, purple, purple, blue, ow, red, red, green,
Yeah,
green,
yeah,
green,
no, yeah.
yellow. No, sorry, grey, yellow.
No, he swapped them.
Oi! I remember yellow being at the end.
You know, I've seen more focus looking through a pair of old milk bottles.
I did do pretty well.
Danraj, don't you think that Reece was the worst at this memory game?
I only actually had 2 goes.
Yeah,
I went once across and then I had my go and then I went once across and I had my go.
Hang on. I had 1 and I still got it. That means I'm the best.
Yeah, but
No buts. I'm the best. End of story.
Will Danraj prove to be the pick of the bunch? And will Jack pay a heavy price for not singing? Only time will tell as our final three put their memory training to the test for one of 2 brown brain belts and a place on the table of supreme focus.
Super Memory Dizzy Dash.
Each Brainee is spun round on dizzy wheel a total of 10 times. Their task to use all their power of focus to memorize 5 images in front of them. Then race against clock to cross balancing beam and collect same 5 images from 10 hanging above them. Then must arrange images in reverse order. When they are happy with their selection, a hit of gong stops clock.
My tip for the Brainees is to keep focused on the main objective and use their training to link the 5 images together. So, our final 3 brave the dizzy wheel to compete for their brown brain belt and a place on the table of supreme focus. Time to spin. Will their memory training help them to remember the images and ignore the effects of being spun round like worms on a waltzer? The order they need to remember is at the bottom of the screen. First to wobble off in search of those images is Danraj. And straight away he appears to be struggling with his memory, plucking out an apple instead of the tomato he needs. This really is the ultimate test of memory for our Brainees, as they fight their dizziness to pick out the 5 images they saw on the wheel, arranging them in reverse order. For every mistake, they'll pick up a 5-second penalty. The Brainee with the slowest time will be eliminated. While Danraj now has his 5 pictures, he's wasting valuable time going backwards and forwards for each one. And that's a patchy performance from Danraj. Next up is reliable Reece, who's repeating the pictures out loud to help him remember them.
Tomato, camel, cheese.
That's the 5 images. Now all Reece has to do is put them in the right order. Ho, 5 out of 5. Last to go is front-runner Jack, the Brainee who found his training so humiliating. In next to no time, Jack plucks down those 5 images. But apart from that spider, none of the other pictures look to be in the right order. Is he about to pay the ultimate price for not trying harder in the training? Let's find out. With 3 penalties to add to his time of 1 minute 22, Danraj finished in 1 minute 37 seconds. With no penalties, reliable Reece rang his gong in a rapid 1 minute 19 seconds. And even though front-runner Jack racked up 4 penalties, he still finished in 1 minute 22. Meaning that Jack's still in and Danraj is out. For Danraj, it's time to hand over his brain belt and leave the dojo.
Walk of Eternal Regret.
I am quite forgetful, just hate doing stuff like that. The brain training did help in a way, but I also tried my hardest, but obviously I couldn't get to the finals.
So, with only 1 level to go, that just leaves reliable Reece and front-runner Jack to don their brown brain belts and prepare for the final showdown.
I am so happy. I've never been so happy in my whole entire life.
I'm so happy. I'm in the finals and I'm gonna win.
I'm really, really hoping, fingers crossed, that I will win. I really, really want that black belt on my head.
Brain-Jitsu.
8 young hopeful arrived at Brain Training Dojo to fight for Brain-Jitsu Black Brain Belt. As challenges got tougher, Brainees got fewer. Some lack focus, others speed. Now just 2 remain. Reliable Reece, winner of 2 levels so far.
This is something that a big step for me, and I think that I've done really well.
And front runner Jack, confident throughout.
I'm in the finals and I'm gonna win.
But who will use brain training to max to win final challenge? Level 7, Black Belt!
So, this is it. Between my two remaining Brainees and the Black Belt stands Brain-Jitsu's ultimate challenge. A mental duel that is head-to-head in every sense. The battlefield? A table. But not just any table. For this, my friends, is the table of supreme focus, where our two Brainees will attempt to move a ball across the table using only the power of their mind. By getting this far, they've already demonstrated mental control under many different types of pressure. But now they must learn to focus their minds by entering a state of total calm. To prepare them, my two finalists will need to get into the zone.
Room of mental nourishment.
In this, their final visit to the room of mental nourishment, our two remaining Brainees are about to train in how to stay focused no matter what's happening around them.
Brain training. Mentally prepare yourself for the final task. Don't let sounds put you off.
So, our two finalists must block out the noise and concentrate only on keeping their focus. While Reece is blocking out the noise by focusing on a single point, Jack has buried himself under a pillow. But even that doesn't seem to be working.
Jack, stop laughing, you're putting me off. But isn't that one of the points?
Time for a training tip.
Tip. Visualise and focus on somewhere you feel happy and calm.
While Jack's focus is certainly better this time, it doesn't last long. Will Jack get into the zone in time for his toughest challenge yet? Or will it be reliable Reece who grabs the glory? Let's find out.
Table of supreme focus.
Rules are simple. Each Brainee must push ball to the opponent's end of table using only power of mind. Sensors in Brainees' headbands measure brainwaves. This is converted into electrical signal, which moves ball. More focused mind, stronger signal, and faster ball will travel. See how Brainees are doing on this readout. 2 lines represent each player's brainwaves. Lower the line, more concentrated their mind.
To make sure this is the test of all tests, our Brainees must win the best of 3 rounds. So, this is the big one. Our 2 finalists must use all their brain training to enter their zone of absolute focus. This is the reason they came to the dojo. This is the moment they've been training for. It's Jack who's first to get the ball moving. His lower black line on the readout, a clear sign of his better focus. Barely able to keep a smile off his face, Jack makes it 1-0. And reliable Reece will have to call on all his training if he's not to be eliminated. Round 2. And again, the low black line on the readout is showing that it's Jack who's really found his focus. But Reece is refusing to back down and stops the ball in its tracks. And as Jack begins to fidget, Reece takes full advantage. Leveling the score at 1 apiece. It's all down to the final round. This is now a test of mental endurance as much as anything else. Who will cope best with the brain strain?
Round 3 and both our Brainees are fully focused. You can see from the 2 lines on the readout just how evenly matched they are. But little by little, Jack starts to make headway, inching that ball back towards Reece. It's all over, and it's Jack who's emerged triumphant. His training really has paid off. Frontrunner Jack truly has proven himself to be a master of the mind and worthy winner of the Brain-Jitsu black belt.
Makes me feel so great to have won this. I didn't think I was going to do it. I thought I was going to be knocked out early into the game. I just feel like jumping.
But glory for one brings disappointment for another. And although he fought valiantly, Reece must now leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I think it went wrong because every time I saw the ball on my side, I was so stressed. And I was trying and I was just looking at the ball and suddenly it just went the other way. And I was like, no, not good. I'm feeling so depressed. I've never felt so depressed in my life. I'm gonna go home and meditate for the rest of my life.
I feel great that I won. I think all the tips that help me focus and everything else really helps in the game, and I think it will help in real life.
For Jack, his journey to mental mastery is now complete. Up against the toughest of competitors in reliable Reece, he refused to back down. And when the pressure was really on, it was Jack who was able to call on all his training and grab that black brain belt. Our journey has come to an end. Another Brainee has proven themselves worthy to wear the Brain-Jitsu black belt. But while Brain-Jitsu might represent the most extreme form of brain training, its philosophy can be shared by all. Each and every one of you has it in your power to grow your mind. All it takes is dedication and practice. This has been